Special assessments. Special assessments are taxes paid by the landowner as a contribution to the cost of public improvements. Special assessments are capitalized as cost of land because public improvements increase definitely the value of the land. Okay. In addition sa real property tax, meron pa tayong isang tax na binabayaran kapag tayo ay bumili ng lupa. Yun yung special assessments. And ang special assessments, hindi naman siya forever na binabayaran. Kumbaga, itong special assessments are taxes paid by the landowner for a certain period of time lang. Kumbaga, hindi naman siya forever na binabayaran. Kumbaga, meron lang period ikaw na magbabayad ka ng special assessments dahil nga ito yung special assessments, ito yung mga taxes na binabayaran ng landowner as a contribution to the cost of public improvements. So, for a certain period lang siya binabayaran. Hindi siya forever na tax. Building. Cost of building when purchased. Okay. Purchase price, legal fees and other expenses incurred in connection with the purchase, unpaid taxes up to date of acquisition, interest, mortgage, liens, and other encumbrances on the building assumed by the buyer. So, pag building, malaking value rin ang pinag-uusapan. So, madalas inuutang muna din ang building. Kaya magkakaroon din dito ng mga interest, mortgage, liens, and other encumbrances on the building assumed by the buyer. Payment to tenants to induce them to vacate the building. And any renovating or remodeling costs incurred to put building purchase in a condition suitable for the intended use, such as lighting, installations, partitions, and repairs. So, kapag ang building ay binili, yung cost ng building na yon is katulad lang din almost dun sa mga pinag-usapan natin dun sa cost of land when purchased. Especially itong A to E. So, same lang din siya ng concept dun sa cost of land when purchased. And dagdag lang, sa pag-cost of building when purchased, any renovating or remodeling cost incurred to put building purchase in a condition suitable for the intended use such as lighting, partitions, and repairs. So, kapag lumang-lumang building yung nabili ng entity, kailangan ng mga renovation costs para magamit ulit natin yung building para ma-restore, kumbaga ma-restore yung old building na binili natin in a condition suitable for the intended use. So, yung mga remodeling cost and renovation cost is part siya ng cost of building when purchased. Cost of building when constructed. So, kung gusto mo magkaroon ng building, either bibili ka or ikaw mismo ang magko-construct. Ikaw mismo ang gagawa. Kapag naman ang building ay constructed, materials used, labor employed, and overhead incurred during the construction. So, parang yung sa cost accounting lang. Materials plus labor plus overhead. Kasi bumubuo tayo ng building. Building permit or license. Okay, bago kasi makapagpatayo ng building, kailangan mong mag-secure ng mga licenses and permits. So, yung mga building permits and licenses na yung na-incur, part din siya ng building when constructed. Part of cost din siya ng building when constructed. Architect fee, kasama din. Superintendent fee, kasama din siya sa cost of building when constructed. Cost of excavation. So, yung paghuhukay ay kasama rin sa cost of building. Cost of temporary buildings used as construction periods such as construction offices and tools or materials shed. So, parang may mali sa statement. Dapat wala ito. Yan. So, may typo. Okay, ulitin natin. Cost of temporary buildings used as construction offices and tools material shed. So kapag gumagawa ng building, nagko-consume siya ng very long time. Ginagawa siya ng matagal. And since matagal siya gawin, so para mas kahit paano mapabilis or mapaayos yung paggawa ng building, yung mga laborer na employed in construction the building, nagko-construct na din sila ng mga temporary buildings. So instead na everyday mag-uuwian yung mga manggagawa natin ng building, doon na lang sila nagpapalipas ng araw dun sa mga temporary buildings na yon, para at least hindi na sila pabalik-balik kumbaga sa araw-araw. Kumbaga dito na muna sila tutuloy sa temporary buildings na ginagawa as construction offices. So hindi lang din para dun sa mga laborer, as temporary natutuluyan nila since matagal gawin ang building. Para din yon sa storage ng materials. So yung mga temporary buildings used as material shed, kasama rin siya sa cost of building when constructed. Expenditures incurred during the construction period such as interest on construction loans and insurance. So ito naman, itong interest na binabanggit dito, kapag nanghihiram ang entity ng pera sa bangko, and yung purpose ng panghiram nila ng pera is para i-finance yung pag-construct ng building. Kumbaga, nanghiram sila sa bangko ng pera kasi kailangan nila ng pera para makapagpatayo sila ng building. And yung interest na naka-attach dun sa mga construction loans is part din siya ng cost ng building. Hindi interest expense ang treatment doon. Part siya ng cost ng building. Expenditures for service equipment and fixtures made a permanent part of the structure. Kasama rin siya sa cost of building when constructed. Example ng letter H, okay, para i-explain siya. Kunyari, meron tayong building dito. Building. Ayan. Taasan pa natin. Mataas na building. Ayan. Okay. Mataas na building. And meron tayong tinatawag na automated car parking system. Automated car parking system wherein naka-attach siya sa building natin. Katabi lang siya ng ating building. Yan. Meron tayong automated car parking system wherein yung mga sasakyan natin or yung mga sasakyan ng mga visitors na bumibisit dito sa ating building ay dito natin pinapark doon sa ating automated car parking system. Kumbaga, ine-elevate natin yung mga car nila doon sa ating automated car parking system. Yan. Let's say maraming car na nakalagay diyan. Ine-elevate, papasok dito yung sasakyan, then i-elevate siya sa taas. Kasi nga automated car parking system. And para mag-function yung ating automated car parking system, may mga equipment and machinery na kailangan para mag-function yung ating automatic car parking system. And yung ating automated car parking system is built-in na siya. Kumbaga, nakakabit siya sa building natin. Kumbaga, immovable na siya. Immovable wherein kapag tinanggal natin itong automated car parking system natin, masisira din yung building. Kasi nga built-in, magkakabit na silang dalawa. And may mga services, equipment, and fixtures na kailangan para mag-function itong ating automated car parking system na yung automated car parking system is built in, wherein nakakabit na siya sa building. Kumbaga, hindi na natin pwedeng paghiwalayin pa itong automated car parking system at building. Kasi kapag ginalaw natin tong automated car parking system natin, masisira yung building. Yes. Yung mga service equipment and fixtures na nandito sa parking system natin is part siya ng building when constructed. Considered siya as part ng cost ng building. Cost of temporary safety fence and cost of subsequent removal thereof. So ito yon kapag nakakita na kayo ng mga building na under construction, di ba mayroong mga temporary safety fence yan. Yung paggawa ng temporary safety fence at yung cost ng pagtanggal is part din yon ng cost of building. And yung safety inspection fee, part din siya ng cost ng building when constructed. PIC interpretation on land and building. Land and an old building are purchased at a single cost. If the old building is usable, single cost is allocated to land and building based on relative fair value. If the old building is unusable, single cost allocated to land only. Okay, to illustrate yung number 1, kapag daw ang land at ang old building ay binili at a single cost. So for example, we acquired land and building for 6 million cash. Bumili tayo ng lupa na may nakatayong building for 6 million cash. Ang question is, paano natin i-allocate yung cost ng 6 million sa land at sa building? Kasi hindi pwedeng magkasama yan sa isang account. Sa balance sheet, di ba, bukod ang account ng land, bukod ang account ng building. So, kailangan nating i-separate itong 6 million na total cost ng land and building. If the old building is usable, single cost is allocated to land and building based on relative fair value. Okay. Kapag yung building na to, na binili natin, is usable, ang allocation natin ng 6 million is based daw sa kanilang relative fair value. So, let's say ang fair value ng land ay 7 million at ang fair value ng building na binili natin ay 1.75 million. So, total na fair value nito ay 8.75 million. Binili natin for 6 million cash. So, mas nakatipid tayo kumbaga. Paano natin i-allocate yung 6 million sa fair value ng paano natin i-allocate yung 6 million as cost of land and cost of building? So, kapag ang old building ay usable, relative fair value. So, ganito ang mangyayari. Dito na lang. Debit land. A-allocate natin yung 6 million based sa kanilang relative fair value. 6 million times 7 million divided by 8.75 million. Ayan, ganyan siya. So, land is 4.8 million. Building. Ang building naman would be 6 million times 1.75 million divided by 8.75 million. That is 1.2 million. Credit, cash, 6 million. So, ganito yung sinasabi ng number 1, letter A. Ito yun. Pag letter B naman, if the old building is unusable, single cost is allocated to land only. Okay, kung ang old building na binili natin na kasama ng land is unusable, hindi natin siya magagamit. So, lahat ng 6 million na to ay sa land lang mapupunta. So, mangyayari sa letter B. So, kung ito yung letter A, ganito naman yung mangyayari sa letter B. Debit land, credit, cash. 6 million pesos. Okay, next. The old building is demolished immediately to make room for the construction of a new building. Okay. Ano ang mangyayari? Kapag daw, ano ang mangyayari sa carrying amount ng old building? If the new building is accounted for as PPE or investment property, any allocated amount of the usable old building is recognized as loss. Okay, ituloy natin itong ginagawa nating illustration. Okay. Bumili tayo ng lupa at building for 6 million cash. And yung building is usable. So, ang entry natin would be ito, letter A. Now, let's say na-depreciate na natin yung building. Na-depreciate na natin yung building. And let's say ang depreciation ay 120,000. So, debit depreciation, credit, accumulated depreciation, building to 120,000 pesos. So, tinuloy natin yung ginawa natin sa 1, letter A. What if yung old building ay demolish immediately to make room for the construction of a new building? Gigibain na natin yung old building, papalitan natin ng bago. If the new building is accounted for as PPE or investment property, any allocated amount of the usable building is recognized as loss. So, kung ang purpose ng paggawa natin ng new building ay for normal operations natin for administrative purposes, PPE. Kapag ang purpose ng new building natin earn rentals or for capital appreciation or for both, that is investment property. And kung ganun yung purpose ng ating new building, yung carrying amount ng old building would be charged as loss. So, paano yun? Ano ang mangyayari? Now, tutuloy lang natin to. So, tatanggalin na natin yung old building, gigibain natin, magko-construct tayo ng bago. So, mawawala na yung old building sa ating libro, sa ating record. So, debit, accumulated depreciation, building, 120,000. Credit, building, 1.2 million. Yung carrying amount niya na 1.80 million ay charge na sa loss. Anong loss? Loss on retirement. Kasi ni-retire na natin yung ating old building. So, ganito ang mangyayari kung ang purpose ng new building is PPE or investment property. Kung ang new building ay accounted as PPE or investment property, then ganito ang mangyayari sa ating old building. Carrying amount ng old building ay charge to loss account. Letter B. If the new building is accounted for as inventory, any allocated carrying amount of the usable old building is capitalized as cost of new building. So, chargeable sa cost of the building, capitalized as cost of inventory, yung letter B. Makakapitalize as cost of inventory, which is cost of new building, yung carrying amount ng old building. So, ibig sabihin na to, kung ang new building na gagawin natin is accounted for as inventory, yung loss on retirement dito sa entry natin would be debit building new. How about the demolition cost of old usable building? So, since dinemolish na natin yung old building, naka-incur tayo ng demolition cost. And ano ang treatment sa demolition cost na yon? Dun sa extra cost na na-incur natin. Kung ang new building is accounted for as PPE, if the new building is accounted for as investment property, and if the new building is accounted for as inventory, ang demolition cost net of salvage value is capitalized as cost of new building. So, ibig sabihin, yung demolition cost net of salvage value is capitalized as cost of new building. regardless kung ano ang accounting for new building. Kung ang new building ay accounted as PPE, then yung demolition cost is cost ng new building. If yung new building naman is accounted for as investment property, still yung demolition cost ay part ng new building. Magiging part siya ng investment property. And kung ang new building naman na gagawin natin ay accounted for as inventory, yung demolition cost natin for demolishing the old building is magiging parte din ng cost of new building. That is, magiging parte siya ng cost of inventory.